Breaking news, Donald Trump's federal classified documents trial has been postponed inevitably by a federal judge. I'm guessing once they saw the evidence that the DOJ shipped all those cases of classified documents to Mar-A-Lago, they said, what the are we doing here? Trump train rolling, toot toot.
Another dub for Teflon Don. It looks like that ridiculous Jack Smith case about classified documents is set for not a dismissal, but it is postponed indefinitely, okay? Another dub for Donald Trump to go ahead and win this 2024 election. Okay, now there's a lot of things that went horribly wrong with this classified documents case, but not because of Donald Trump. It's because of Jack Smith and the FBI fumbling the bag. Okay, you saw the intro and you see the screen here. Federal judge postpones Trump classified records trial with no due date. It's indefinite, which means that there's a very extremely high likelihood that Trump is going to be the president prior to this case moving forward. Not that Trump had any risk of losing this case to begin with, because this is one of the cases that is the most ridiculous. It's right up there with the Stormy Daniels case in terms of ridiculousness. But all of them are ridiculous, let's face it. But I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the details here. Former President Trump's classified records trial stemming from Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's investigation has been postponed with no due date, Fox News learned. Okay, the trial was set to begin May 20th, which is literally like 2 weeks from now. But U.S. District Judge of the United States District Court from Southern District of Florida, Aileen Cannon, postponed that date Tuesday. Now, this lady is probably going to catch a lot of heat, especially from those liberals over on MSNBC and CNN. Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see them fume. May do another video about that so we can make fun of them together. And of course, checked out her profile. It says that she identifies with the Republican Party, because you know, if it was a Democrat, they wouldn't care about any of the details. They would try to proceed with this trial so they could hopefully convict them. But of course, you got a conservative person here. They're actually trying to be fair, and I'll go into further detail why in a moment. Now, here's a detail that you all are gonna care about the most. Okay, last week's special Counsel Jack Smith and federal prosecutors admitted in the court filings that documents seized during the raid at Mar-A-Lago are no longer in their original order in sequence. There are some boxes where the order of the items within the box is not the same as the associated scans, Smith's filing states. The prosecutors had previously told the court that the documents were in their original intact form as seized. So who's lying to the courts now? House Judiciary Committee Jim Jordan is now investigating whether that evidence was altered or manipulated. So it looks like they got a chain of custody issue. Shout out to those of y'all who are familiar with forensics, but when you're gathering evidence, you have to be very careful that the evidence doesn't appear as though it was tampered with or it wasn't directly tampered with. In this case, the evidence we know for a fact was tampered with because it was admitted. So take a quick look at this breakdown here that explains this in greater detail.
Yeah, so that famous photograph, what we have now learned, and the government has had, Jack Smith and his prosecutors have had to admit that that was staged, and those top secret classified sheets that all the public saw and said, oh my God, look at those top secret documents, those were placed there by the FBI. What Jack Smith admitted in court this week was that, in his word, they mishandled the classified documents and misrepresented those to the court. Maria, that's a kind way of saying we tampered with the evidence, then we lied to the court about it. And they got caught when President Trump's lawyers and the other co-defendants raised this issue and said, look, the documents here don't match up. The documents that were presented to us don't match the digitally scanned records of when they were taken from Mar-A-Lago. And Jack Smith, not only did they tamper with that and lie to the court about it, but he's now admitted to the court that he doesn't know how that happened. He's only offered a number of possible explanations for how that could have happened. So he's absolutely blown the chain of custody. And again, he has a prosecutor, lead prosecutor in this case, Jay Bratt, who met with White House counsel and a representative of the National Archives several times in the weeks before Jack Smith was even appointed. This reeks of crossfire hurricane when the Obama-Biden administration fabricated evidence before the FISA court, lied to the court about it to pursue Donald Trump, and now we're seeing it again in this classified documents case. The judge could dismiss this case at any point in time, Maria. I think the only reason that she hasn't is she wants to document this publicly.
So as you can see, the FBI basically took some cover sheets, smacked them onto the cover of the Trump documents to try to say that everything was classified. And you got this big photo op, they're releasing it to the press, and they're saying, see, the evidence is clear as day. He's guilty. He took classified documents. Meanwhile, apparently the FBI didn't even know the classification of the documents that they were putting these cover sheets on and taking photos of after the fact. They didn't take the photos before and then release that. No, they modified the evidence before and then decided to release photos of the modified evidence to the public, effectively poisoning juries, the judge, the media, the minds of the voters. I mean, these people totally ruined this case. This case really, in my opinion, needs to be totally thrown out due to something like this. If you have issues with the evidence, then you don't even have a case to begin with. What's the point of not having a date? I mean, how are they going to possibly fix this with more time? Time doesn't seem like it's the issue here, Judge. Seems like the issue is that these people are corrupt. You guys let me know what y'all think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. Another dub for Teflon Don. Peace.
So this was a very big day, a very revealing day. As you see, their case is totally falling apart. They have nothing on books and records, and even something that should bear very little relationship to the case. It's a disaster. This whole case is just a disaster.